I'm Gary Martin, one of the PGA pros from Huddersfield Golf Club, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a demonstration on how to hit a hybrid club. And whilst we're on this topic, we're going to just discuss whether you should actually have a hybrid club in the bag. So this is a video that's been sort of requested by the subscribers off the back of me doing a demonstration on how to hit a 3-wood, or a fairway wood should I say, off the deck. And a lot of people are asking whether it were the same technique with a hybrid, and there is quite a few differences. So we're going to briefly touch on that today. But while we're on the subject of hybrids, I just wanted to sort of talk a little bit about whether you should be carrying a hybrid, and make sure you understand what a hybrid is for. This is because I work in a pro shop, and quite often we get members sort of asking, for strong hybrids, sort of 15, 17, 90 degree hybrids. And really, you've got to remember, guys, that hybrids were never designed to replace fairway woods, and considering that a 5-wood is an 18 degree, I wouldn't really suggest starting your hybrid until you get sort of 21 degree, which is about, a 3-iron loft. Because I think once you start to reduce the loft any less than a 21 degree, it doesn't become versatile, and that was the whole design. The whole reason for a hybrid is to have a versatile club that you can hit off the tee, off the fairway, out the semi-rough, and you lose that ability to do that. So I don't really see any benefit over a fairway wood. In fact, it's probably going to be more hindrance to you than having a fairway wood. And you've got to remember, a fairway wood, you can play off a short, tight lie, you can play off a tee. You can't really play it so much out of semi-rough, but then could you play a 17 degree hybrid out of out of the semi-rough? I don't think you could. I think you'd have, exactly the same problems as a hybrid. So, that'd make me question, why would you actually want a hybrid? If it's no more versatile than a 5-wood, why carry a hybrid? You might as well go for the fairwood, which has obviously got, more CC, more power, weights position further back, obviously because of the profile and the design of the club. So, point I'm getting at, guys, is that I think if you're going to get a hybrid club, I would really try to sort of avoid going any less than a 21 degree loft, so that you keep the versatility. Now, hybrid clubs are fantastic for anybody that's got sort of slower club head speeds. So it might be a senior or a lady, or I don't want to generalize people, but generally they're the kind of golfers that do have a little bit of a slower club speed, juniors as well. And what you will tend to find is, if you are this person, and you might relate to this, is that as you start to hit through your set, you might have nice increments in distance, from your pitching wedge to your 9-iron to your 8-iron. And then as you start to get to your longer clubs, so maybe your 7-iron and your 6-iron, you lose that distance gap in, and everything becomes a little bit clustered together. And that's the point then where you need to start looking at hybrid clubs, because they're designed to help create height and ball speed, to help you maintain these gaps through your set. And it might also be a case of, when you're buying a hybrid club, he's not sort of going for a 3, 4 and a 5 and a 6 hybrid, but instead, seeing your club pro, going to a retailer and having your distance gapped between your irons, and then trying to maintain that sort of gap in your longer clubs, all right, so that we don't sort of go from 15-yard increments to sort of 5-yard increments, because then it's just going to confuse things for you. You're not going to know what club to hit. And I see this a lot. Like I said, I see this a lot amongst ladies, and seniors, and they're coming for lessons because they're thinking that they're doing something wrong in the longer irons, because they're not getting any more distance than the shorter irons. And it's not necessarily that they're doing something wrong, because sometimes, they're striking the ball really well. It's just that they haven't actually got enough power, enough club head speed to launch that ball high enough that it's going to get, it's optimized distance, so they start to lose that gap in. So if you're that person, you definitely need to be looking at hybrid clubs, and don't be scared at your sort of more lofted hybrid clubs, because they're not just designed to replace a 3 and a 4-iron. A lot of manufacturers make them right down to a 7-iron now, and if that's the club that's going to suit your game, then by all means get one of them clubs. The one I'm testing today, I don't use a hybrid club myself, I use a 3-iron, but the one I'm testing is a 21 degree Titleist. All right, so although I've not got one, I'm doing this test a little bit for myself, and as you guys know, I like new clubs, so it might be something I put in my bag and rotate, depending on the style of golf course that I'm playing. But as I said, yeah, let's get in there, let's test it, and most of all, let's show you guys how to set up to a hybrid. So guys, I've got some really real conditions here. You know, these are the conditions where I would probably, you know, shy away from using a long iron on the course. It's semi-rough. I'm going to just tap the ball down a little bit as well, just to make it a bit more real. You know, if I had that lie on the golf course, I'd probably be reluctant to use anything more than about a 6 iron, because I'd want to play a high percentage shot, you know, and make sure I got good contact with the ball. And you know, I see a lot of higher handicappers who might attempt to use a 5 wood or a 4 iron, you know, trying to get that little bit more, but then because it's a lower percentage shot, you know, quite often top it or make a mistake because they're nervous about that shot, and you know, they're not as confident as they would be if they chose a more sensible club. So right, I'm going to show you how to set up to this. What I would start by doing is making sure my ball position's right. So I've got the alignment sticks here. I'd start by playing the ball a club head inside the front heel. So if you put your club head on the floor inside your front heel, and then make sure the ball's lined up with that. And then when you take your stance, make sure the insides of your feet are on the outsides of your shoulders, because we need good balance. You know, this is one of our longer clubs. All right, so when the club's longer, you'll generally have a little bit more club head speed. So we need to maintain balance, and most importantly, we need to maintain this left cheek position on the back edge of the ball. So a bit like the fairway would, we need to make sure that the left cheek position is on the back edge of the ball, and the back edge of the grip here is on the back edge of the ball as well. And once we've got that set up, what we've got to try to do is sweep the surface. So I don't want you to try to feel like you've got to hit the ball and then the ground, all right, because that's going to make you steep, more likely top the ball, or you know, sort of fin the shot. You've got to try to almost feel as though you're striking a matchbox. If you can imagine sort of a 5-inch matchbox and the ball's right in the middle, all right, so you're striking the ball about an inch behind the ball, and you're trying to get the club gliding along the surface after you've hit the ball. So you're keeping that club really shallow to the ground, all right? Now, the most important thing is, as you do that, as I said, make sure as you turn back, you're feeling like you're trying to maintain that left cheek position, so your shoulders feel like they're separate from your neck. So you're disassociating your shoulders and your head, allowing your shoulders to rotate around your spine, but maintaining that left cheek position. So I'm going to go ahead and hit one. I've not warmed up actually, so let's see how we do. Oh, that was nice. A little bit of a stiff swing. We're going to have another go at that one. I'm going to tap it down a little bit more. I want to see what these hybrids can really do. I mean, I definitely would not. That's almost in a little bit of its own mark there, indentation. So I would definitely not be hitting any more than a 7 iron here. I'd be even probably a bit worried about in a 7 iron. It might be an 8. So let's see what this club does. So set up that club head in front, or club head between the heel. So I've got a ball now, or a club head back, sorry, from in ball position. Hand position back of the ball, left cheek back of the ball, and really trying to maintain that as I swing back. I'm not going to try and hit down on it because it's in this indentation. I'm going to stick to the plan and try and sweep the surface an inch behind and an inch after. So not aiming for the ball, sweeping through the ball. And let's see what happens. Again, very well struck, you know, very well struck. I don't know how far we can go with this, but do you know what? I definitely should have one of these in my bag, because, you know, in that situation, I'm going to try and just pick a little bit more of a rougher lie, actually. That one, it'd be like if I went into a divot on the course. I'd be almost trying to do this, you know, because that's what we do, don't we? We get a bit tempted to change a swing when it is in a hollow. Let's try again. This one, stick to the plan. Now that one, I've advanced it. It's gone 200 yards on a very low flight. I struck it probably a quarter of the way up the ball, but it's advanced. You know, I'd have it up to a 4 iron or a 3 iron to get up there, and there's no way I could have played it from that lie. So, you know, even for a low handicapper, I think there's a place in the bag for one of these. But, you know, if you are a mid to high handicapper, guys, just make sure that you don't get too greedy and you start to try to, you know, get 17s and 15s and even probably 19s, because you will lose the trajectory and you'll lose the flight and you'll lose the versatility, you know. So they're designed to replace, you know, mid to long irons. So give it a go, guys, and get in the comments, let us know how it's been. You know, also if you've got any more great ideas for content as well, keep them coming, because, you know, that's what I'm working from at minute. And yeah, you know, if you've enjoyed it, do subscribe, because, you know, obviously I'm new to YouTube and I've noticed that, you know, I'm getting a lot of views, but not everybody's subscribed. So it's free to subscribe if you don't know that already. And yeah, we'll keep these videos coming every other day for you. So I'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.